We have some very strange updates with the outbreak situation. I got a message from Chrissy Z. Well, she left a comment and told me to take a look at something. Sorry guys, my export of my video is kind of being messed up, so I'm having to screen record it. But I talked to the family of Michelle and David, and they have a phone conference with the CDC today, and some other things are going on. The mother of David said she forbid them to cremate his body. So that's the update we have right now, and I will keep y'all updated from there. I spoke with them last night and this morning, and I will keep y'all updated. And it seems that this is a very strange story. We have 140 Swiss soldiers being quarantined for a mystery illness. They are vomiting and having diarrhea, and they don't seem to know what's going on. That in itself may not be all that weird, but the story that came out the next day was very, very weird. The story that came out the next day said that the Swiss soldiers are having trouble with these bed bugs. A very strange type of bed bug. What? And then in that story, they didn't really talk about these soldiers being quarantined or being sick at all. They just kind of acted like that wasn't part of it. So they are going to connect these violent illnesses. Wait, I didn't even tell you this part. The soldiers are in, some of them, I think 30 of them, are in critical condition. They were flown out by helicopters and ambulances. For bed bugs? What? I mean, you couldn't make this up if you tried. Honestly. That happened about 3 days ago. The only update I've found is the bed bugs. So thank you, Chrissy Z, on that. That is absolutely insane. Something going on. Then we have Fiji. Back in Fiji. Fiji Airways suspends Adelaide Airlines, and Korean Air cancels all of their flights in and out of Fiji. So nobody can go in or out of Fiji from South Korea. That's pretty huge. Then yesterday we had the UK call for the World Health Organization to consider this a global emergency. As we know, if you've been following my videos, the World Health Organization has tried to call this a global emergency 3 times, but they have been pushed back at every turn, mainly for money. Not for money, but if they were to consider this a global emergency, it would impact trade. That's the biggest thing, and that's why they were suppressing it in Kenya and Uganda and all of these other places. The death toll has reached over 1,600 that we know of. If you've been following my videos, you know that they first said that they didn't know about 25% of the cases, and then about a week ago they said that they don't know about half of cases. So for every one person they diagnose, they believe there's another person. And it's probably more than that, because, you know, they're dealing with this in a war zone, an active war zone. They've been killed, you know, the response workers, all of these things, and they just burned 1 or 2 of them one or two screening centers down. And then we had the few cases in Kenya. And now we have, just for some random reason, this supposedly is only transmitted by bodily fluids, right? Yet we have 70 new cases in South Sudan. That is northwest of Uganda, about 70 miles. I'll have to double check. If I'm wrong, I'll put it at the bottom. So it's supposedly you can only get it by bodily fluids, is what they tell us. They say it's not airborne. Then how in the world did Ebola jump from one area all the way to a whole different country and get 70 people and infect 70 people? How is that possible? Now, if one person left the area and got one person sick, or let's say even 5 people, let's say 5 people with Ebola left the DRC and went to Sudan, they infected 70 people overnight? It's believable. That's what they're telling us. That's what they're telling us. Makes perfect sense, right? Of course it does. And then, a couple of days ago, on July 2nd, this was interesting. The United States, Bonnie Glick, I'm not really sure of her. She has some role in the health department in Washington, D.C. The United States is providing $98 million in assistance in the Democratic Republic of the Congo in response for the Ebola outbreak. Sorry. That was a press release from the U.S. Agency for International Development. Well, that was weird. Kind of random, huh? Since this has been going on for an entire year, and now all of a sudden we had the executive order that the current administration signed about about the pandemic, the emergency pandemic executive order he signed. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch my other videos. But we have that, and then all of a sudden they are now slating $98 million in assistance, which is amazing. Why all of a sudden? What changed? What aren't they telling us? And for the UK to have the health department, the World Health Organization, to consider this a global emergency. I know a lot of people thought I was super crazy from my last Ebola video that I did about the guy from Kenya that hopped in that plane to Europe, to France, fell out of the wheel well and fell out onto a lawn. And then a few days later, we have UK calling for the World Health Organization to consider this a global emergency. Could it be a coincidence? Of course it could be. Do I just put out random crazy stuff? No. I don't. I don't claim that I'm right about everything either, but I don't just put out random stuff, y'all. There's something going on. There is something going on. And then we had up in Canada, in Montreal, the entire community is being warned about supposedly one case of measles. Like, it's this mass emergency. Oh my gosh, everybody. Like, what is going on? Like, they're warning the entire community. How is that possible? If almost everybody is vaccinated, which most people really are, why are they making such a big deal out of all of these people that may have the measles? Wouldn't you just say, okay, if they come in, we'll check them for measles? Why are they making such a big deal of this measles? None of this is adding up. Either way, there's something going on with all of these mass illnesses. But then right after that happened, that's when Pence's Air Force 2, I think it's called, was turned around. He was supposed to be going up to New Hampshire. But at the last minute, they told him to turn around. Which, we also know about all these the Congolese migrants that went from San Antonio. The majority of them went up to Portland, Maine, which is not far from there either. So, there's something going on. This is not something that we should be taking lightly. They keep putting out these huge stories and then not updating them. It doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense at all. So, I don't know, y'all. I'm just continuing to take my silver, which is not colloidal silver. People have that confused. This is not the same thing. Colloidal silver is acidic. This is alkaline, okay? And it's the formulation is structured. And so it is very different. I mean, I wouldn't say like it's completely different, but it is. It works completely different. Because how colloidal silver and other silvers work, it doesn't stay in I'll do a video. Well, I'm still going to have the doctor on. But the silver solution with the soap and the hand lotion and the gel and the lozenges, and it comes with the book and everything. I mean, because we know there's no treatment for this, but promising, research. That's all I can say. Especially with the big crackdown, they are cracking down on any natural health things these days. So I can't say it does anything, but my link for this, so you can go check it out yourself, will be in the first pinned comments, and it's going to have a bunch of arrows on top of it. I know some people have problems. The first pinned comment is going to be the first comment under the video, and it says, thanks for watching, blah, 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 and then it's going to have some arrows pointing at it. Actually, I'll put it on the screen so you know, and I'll point at it. Okay, but, me and my kids are taking it. It's not going to hurt, and it helps for so many other things. And it even has, like, health things for pets and stuff like that. It does wonderful things. I mean, it may do wonderful things. I don't know, y'all, this is really crazy. So, if you find anything, I'm very, I love when people send me stuff that helps, and I'm very grateful for that. So, thank y'all for all of your help, because this is a community of, this isn't just me. See, that's what people don't really understand about, like, how mainstream works compared to alternative. We like to work together. We don't like to just say that I did this, although some people do. They just act like they did everything, when really, a lot of times they just get the information from somebody else. I won't name any names, but anyway, I have a very important video that I might be doing it live. I'm not sure. I might do it live tonight. So, I will see y'all later. Bye, guys. Y'all have a wonderful